In the dark night, a strange figure walked lightly on the deserted sand road. The dim moonlight shines from above, creating dark shadows stretching along the mysterious road. The sky is vast, not a single star twinkles, only the gentle sound of the wind blowing accompanied by the sound of sand hissing with each step. An old house nestled in the middle of a wild grass field. The walls are painted faded, the roof is rich with moss, the windows are closed and there is not a single person in sight. Everything was covered in darkness and uncomfortable desolation. No one dared to come close to this house for a long time, because legend has it that it is the residence of souls lost between the world and the underworld. The whispering sounds from the plants and the strange silhouettes passing through the mysterious garden make the space different and more creepy. Every step of the person passing by makes a gloomy sound, like the sound of someone sleeping in an abandoned house. Cold light shines through rusty windows, creating eerie ghosts on the room's walls. Suddenly, a knock on the door rang out from somewhere, accompanied by laughter, but there was no one standing outside. People walked faster, trying to find the source of this strange sound, but all efforts were in vain. The atmosphere becomes more unique and mysterious, making visitors feel like they have fallen into a strange and scary world. The night gradually became deeper and colder. The footsteps continued, but there was no telling where they were going, or if they would ever find a way out of this desolate place. In the trance of the night, the traveler suddenly feels trapped between two worlds, between reality and virtuality, between life and death. The whispering of grass and trees and the sound of wind blowing through small corners of the abandoned house made their minds drowsy and unable to concentrate. A dark shadow suddenly appeared from the front, drawing the shape of a woman wearing a white dress, holding a small fire in her hand. The light from the fire undulated following the woman's footsteps, revealing her innocent but haunted face. The pedestrian suddenly delayed his steps and looked at the woman in bewilderment. In that moment, the atmosphere became more stuffy and mysterious, like a curse had fallen on this abandoned house. "Welcome," the woman's voice said, but there was no joy in it, only coldness and gloom. "Who are you and what are you looking for here?" The person walking couldn't give an answer, just felt like they had lost the ability to talk. They looked at the woman with confused and scared eyes, not knowing what to do in this situation. Suddenly, the fire in the woman's hand burst into flames, emitting bright light, but without a feeling of warmth. Darkness covers and laughter echoes from afar, creating a strange and scary space. The person feels like they are trapped in a nightmare, unable to escape. They stared into the fire, trying to make sense of everything, but no answers appeared. Continuing to immerse themselves in the confusion and mystery of the abandoned house, visitors do not know whether they will escape this hell or not. In the darkness of the abandoned house, the fire in the woman's hand emitted sparkling light, but also contained menace and obsession. People feel like they are caught up in a game of evil, unable to escape the spiral of strangeness and fear. The woman continued to laugh, a lifeless and cold laugh, shaking the soul of the person walking. "You have entered a place where you do not belong," the woman's voice said, cold and authoritative. "And now, you will pay the price for your curiosity." But before the person could react, the fire began to disappear, leaving the house covered in terrifying darkness. Everything became silent, only the panting of the pedestrian and the beating of the anxious heart remained. When the light returned, the woman had disappeared, leaving only an old piece of paper lying beneath the walker's feet. They picked it up and opened it, and every word written in black ink on the paper seemed to penetrate their minds. "This is the place of the lost and the lost, where souls lost between the worlds of life and death seek refuge. But don't ever think that you can get out of here on your own easy. Because this is a place of despair and destruction, where all dreams turn into nightmares." The last words on the paper are like a curse, making the person feel fear and despair. They tried to find a way out of this abandoned house, but all efforts failed. And so, they continued to be trapped in the paranoia and terror of this place, not knowing if they will ever escape the spiral of suffering and fear.